Cookie Biscuits, an awesome system that has been included in order to increase the stat of your cookies, but also a system that can absolutely blow your mind and make your patience go down the drain. So I am sure that all of you guys have experienced it before about the attunement of these biscuits, where it may go all the way up to your 16 and absolutely waste a ton of your crystals, or you just keep on going and resetting these biscuits and just don't get the subsets that you want. I've been there, I've experienced it, and probably you guys have seen it during my live streams as well. But in this video, I wanted to quickly go over what biscuits are, what you want to focus on, how to farm them, and the particular method that you want to go and actually upgrade these things and attune them and reset them to better benefit you in your gameplay. So let's talk about this first. So biscuits has been added since the 3rd anniversary once the Beast Yeast episodes did come out. We have 4 different tiers from common, rare, epic, as well as legendary. To be honest with you guys, everything other than the legendary biscuits are not worth upgrading, especially for the long run. So if you guys do have any of the epic, rare, and commons, probably best not to upgrade them and just keep them as what they are, and maybe just reset them for your better one subset that you're able to get. And then the next is that you do need to go and attune these biscuits, if you guys didn't know, in order to maximize the usage of them. So if you guys actually look right over here, this is going to be an example, and you guys can see you have a total of 16 attempts that you are able to go and attune these particular biscuits. Out of the 16, if you guys do maximize them and you are not able to change the class of that particular substat, then that biscuit is pretty much useless because you're basically missing out on a slot of extra subsets that you're able to get. So as you guys can see, unlike toppings where that particular topping can be used by anyone and that subset can be used by anyone except for the resident toppings where specific cookies can equip them, for biscuits you actually need to go and equip particular class one. So as you guys can see, this one is going to be for the magic class, and each of the substats are going to have different classes. So if they are for magic, then that's not a problem. All of these subsets are going to be unlocked for the magic cookie. But as you guys can see, this particular substat right over here, this attack speed that you guys are able to see, is going to be for a defense class. So in order to go and utilize this, you are going to go have to attune this. In the beginning, it is going to cost about 100, and as you guys continue to attune this and you guys do fail, you're going to see that it does increase to that 150 and so on. So it took me about 8 different tries in order to attune this one slot. So you guys can see that this can be definitely frustrating, and for some players waste a lot of crystals in order to get a full attunement of the biscuit. As you guys can see, this one was pretty lucky because I actually did already have 3 different slots that were available to me. Another thing that you do need to realize, after a certain amount of updates, we actually did get certain elemental biscuits as well. So elemental biscuits are going to have certain element that this particular biscuit is going to be able to have. And as you guys can see, if you guys go to the reset section, then you can see this one as a electric type biscuit is going to have electricity damage 8% to 15% that is also able to come out. If you guys go to one that does not have any element, then you will not see that available for it. There are also certain elemental biscuits that are naturally going to have a 1 slot of it already at maximum, which is going to be 20%. So I'm going to go and show you guys one that it's going to be an example, which is going to be this right over here. As you guys can see, this is going to have a 20% already, and this particular one that you guys get from, for example, like a beast raid, cannot be resetted, or only the 3 below it are going to get reset. So this is something that you do also want to keep in mind, because although these particular biscuits can be equipped by anyone of that class, if that particular cookie does not do dark damage, for example, will not be able to utilize this 20% because they don't do any dark damage. So a lot of things that I do see is like for Shadow Milk Cookie. If you guys didn't know, Shadow Milk Cookie actually does not have an element. So if you guys put a poison type biscuit on it and you have a poison damage right over here, that one slot is pretty much useless. So something that you need to realize is that even though there are elements, if that particular cookie you equip it with does not have that elemental damage, then that pretty much is useless. Another thing I do want to talk about is going to be how to actually upgrade and attune these biscuits. So when it comes to biscuits, there are actually going to be a couple steps that I would recommend most players to take when you guys want to go and get a good biscuit for your cookie. One is actually going to be attuning your biscuits. All right, this is something that you actually need to do first, because if you guys upgrade these biscuits first using your bites and get it up to level 30, but if you guys miss out on all the slots for your attunements, then that biscuit is pretty much useless and you guys kind of wasted a lot of bites that you could have used for different biscuits. Alright, so I do recommend that you go and attune them first, and if you guys do max out on the upgrades and you did not unlock all 4 slots, then that's around the time where you want to go and break them down. Because if you guys actually look, I'm actually going to go and do this right over here, and I'm going to actually attune this one right here. And then we're going to have 6 right over here, right? So if you guys actually break that particular biscuit down, and depending on how much attunement tries you have used, you're actually going to be able to get this right over here, which is going to be an attunement kit. There is going to be different attunement kits for every single rarity, but that one is going to be for the legendary. You guys are able to later on use these attunement kits to guarantee an attunement right over here. If you guys use 50 of this legendary attunement kit, then you're basically going to be guaranteed 100% of attunements, which means that you will only use 150 crystals, and this is going to be full attunement. So that is kind of where the breaking down process is going to work. And again, if you guys max out on the attunement and you missed out on this, it is not going to be worth leveling this thing up. So once you guys do get this thing to max attunement and you guys have all 4 slots, then you guys are going to want to go and level up these biscuits, because that is going to increase your overall stats. As you guys can see, attack by another additional 10% and HP by 10% as well. And then this is where your reset is going to take place. Certain cookies are going to require certain different substats. For example, someone like Blueberry Pie, who is going to be used for the Living Abyss, wants to have a bunch of electric damage. Someone like our Shadow Milk will want something like damage resist bypass for the arena, as well as for certain other game modes, cooldown, as well as sometimes damage resist bypass or attack and crit and stuff like that. For someone like Wedding Cake, we want full cooldown, and this is where the resetting is going to take place. So how do you actually reset these biscuits? There are 2 ways of resetting these biscuits. This one right over here, using the regular biscuit dough, is going to reset every single one of these attuned slot, which is available to you. So if I click on this, this is gonna reset all of the effects. So this is where majority of your restarts are gonna take place, and you want to go and focus on specific stats that you want. All right, this is where you want to try and get at least 2 or even 3 of the substats that you are looking forward to. So for example, if I was trying to make one for, again, Blueberry Pie, then I would try and want to get at least 2 or even 3 of the electric damage, so that I can go and reset this with the Radiant Biscuit dough to get that 1 slot specific to that 1 substat. So for example, I'm going to try it right over here. I got 3 crit. All right. So if I got 3 crits here and I am trying to get the 4th crit, then I go and reset right over here, and I am able to use Radiant Biscuit dough to only go and reset this particular slot. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, luck is very, very important in this resetting. You guys can spend a ton of regular biscuit dough as well as Radiant Biscuit dough to make one good biscuit. And this is where, honestly, money can help, but you will probably hurt your wallet more if you do spend money on biscuits and biscuit dough. So I do recommend probably stay away from buying if possible, just to attune, because you're gonna spend a lot of money on this, because as you guys can see, like resetting, you're gonna get a lot of random ones. And the good thing is you can keep the old one and you can go back to it, but that's how the whole kind of resetting system works. And you can see why this biscuit can actually absolutely kick your patience down the drain, because of the fact that sometimes you're just gonna use all 800 and you won't get the subset that you want. Same thing with toppings, right? But now let's talk about how to actually farm these biscuits, as well as farm Radiant Biscuit doughs, as well as your biscuit bites. All right, so first, obviously biscuits are going to come from Beast Yeast. All right, and you guys are able to get from any of these, but the thing that they have actually added ever since episode 3 is that there are going to be certain elemental biscuits as well. So something that you do need to realize for elemental biscuit is that if you guys do actually get an elemental biscuit from the beasties, is that those are going to be automatically level to level 20, and the regular ones are going to stay at level 1. So you do get a little level boost when you guys do get an elemental one, but you guys do realize that once you guys do go to the resetting, then you have one extra substat that you are going to get that you might not want for a certain cookie. And another bonus that you do want to realize is that back in the days, we were only able to get legendary biscuits from hard mode. But after the 4th anniversary, Dev Sisters did update the thing where you're able to go and get a legendary biscuit from normal stage as well. As you guys can see, the percentage is not that high, all right? But because of the fact that you do have at least a percentage of getting legendary biscuit on the normal mode, it does allow players who cannot clear hard mode yet to at least be able to farm legendary biscuits as well. So let's just go and do this real quick, and I'll just show you guys just how much biscuits you're actually able to get right over here. You guys can see I got 2 of the legendary thunder biscuits, as well as 1 of the dark one and 1 regular one that is just going to be a legendary biscuit. And you guys are going to be able to see once I do go back to you know, the cookies, then you can see, right, although this was not the one that I actually farmed just now, the regular biscuits that has no element is going to be at level 1, and the legendary biscuit with an element is going to be automatically at level 20. All right, and also you guys were able to see that once I did farm it, you are able to get some biscuit bites as well as doughs once you guys do clear regular Beasties episodes. And for those who are wondering, hey HyRool, so how do I get radiant biscuit doughs? Normally, you guys are able to get radiant biscuit doughs from different areas, but one main method is going to be actually breaking down your biscuits. So obviously, when you guys break down epics and commons and rares, you're not going to be getting a lot of radiant biscuit doughs. But if you guys do break down a lot of them, like for example right over here, you guys might see a bit of radiant biscuit dough. So you guys see 45 of it. That is about 1 time you are able to reset that one specific slot. If you guys do break down legendaries, there are a higher chance of you guys getting radiant biscuit doughs, but of course, most of these legendary biscuits you want to keep unless you have attuned them all 16 times or very close to 16 times and you were not able to get 4 attuned slots. All right, so that is a way for you to farm radiant biscuit dough, regular biscuit dough, as well as biscuit bites so that you are able to attune and upgrade your biscuits. Other ways for you to get biscuits, biscuit dough, radiant biscuit dough, and bites are going to be coming from things like Kingdom Arena, where you are able to go and buy from certain shops. You are able to see biscuit doughs right over here, and also you are able to see bites right over here as well. And also additional to that, if you guys do go to things like the Cake Tower, these do have bites that you're able to go and farm. And one other area I did not talk about is going to be from the tier shop. If you guys do reach elite tier, or if you guys are in master tier, you can see 8,000 of the metal equals 1,000 of the regular biscuit dough, and 9,000 of the metal equals actually 100 of the radiant biscuit dough. It's a lot of metals for so small amount of, you know, radiant biscuit dough, but that's really just how it is. And then of course you guys are able to get it from certain shops as well. You can see radiant biscuit doughs right over here, as well as regular doughs, bites as well. And then of course places like Beast Raid and other events stages are going to have these biscuits available to you, so you are able to select specific class of biscuits that you want. So this is for fire, this one's for dark, we also do have for earth type, also this one's for light, and I believe this one is just going to be regular biscuits. And then I also do have the 4th anniversary one that I did not use on my main account yet. And of course, we also do have, as you guys can see, inside of the Monster Menace, where you're also able to get legendary biscuits as well as epic biscuits from this box. So I do have 80 of them. Sometimes you open it, you might get lucky and get legendary biscuits. And that's the reason why you want to go and do Monster Menace, because even if you guys do get epic ones, you are able to break them down, and then you are able to get some regular biscuit doughs as well as radiant biscuit doughs for your resetting as well. So that was a lot. But to wrap up everything, first of all, you need to understand how biscuits work and what you want to focus on. biscuits are going to be for a certain class rather than for everybody compared to something like the toppings. However, in order to maximize the biscuits, you are going to need to go and attune every single slot for that particular class. And the reason why you want to do attunement first before you level it up to level 30 to maximize on the attack and HP bonus is because of the fact that there is going to be a limited number of attunements possible for these biscuits. If you do go and reach either 16 or very close to 16 without getting all 4 slots, then it is going to be best to go and break these down, because you are going to be able to get some attunement kits for it, as well as you might have a chance of getting radiant biscuit doughs. And honestly, because of the fact that you're not going to be able to maximize on the substats, it's probably best to throw them away and forget about it and just kind of leave that pain behind. And then of course, once you do go and get them all the way up to max attunements, then you want to go and level them up to level 30 to get the maximum attack and HP, and also reset them in order to get the subsets that you want. Again, the regular biscuit dough is for you to reset every single one of the subsets, and then the radiant biscuit dough, once you guys select on this particular one right over here, is gonna be able to be used to reset one specific slot to try and get the subsets that you want. Of course, these are all RNG and luck based, so just keep that in mind. If you want to check out what subsets are available and the numbers that are available, the minimum and the maximum, then click on the shield just like you do for the toppings, and then you're going to be able to see what is available to you and kind of see, hey, is my luck good or bad? All right, my luck personally is pretty bad when it comes to biscuits. All right, it's gonna be a long game, guys. It does take a long time to actually get biscuits that you really want, and it's gonna be based on how well you're gonna be able to actually farm these biscuits as well. You are able to increase the biscuit storage slots using crystals, as well as if you guys go to the balloon expedition, sometimes when you guys do clear certain Beast Yeast episodes, there are going to be certain chances where you're going to be able to go and get these ores to get increased slots. All right, from episode 7 and 8, that's going to be from the Rainbow Shell Gallery. But if you guys look at this one right over here, this is going to increase 5 extra slots of your biscuit storage. So depending on what you are looking for, you guys can go and get those particular ores from specific stages. But again, guys, I just want to let you guys know biscuits are kind of endgame, as well as something that you're going to constantly need to go and upgrade and grind for, just like how we do have for toppings, because it is going to be RNG based or luck based. So just keep that in mind. Be patient with it a little bit, and I wish you guys all the best of luck to get the subsets that you guys want. But hopefully that kind of wrapped it up for how the biscuits work, what you guys need to focus on, how to upgrade them, and everything like that. If you guys have any questions, please let me know down in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys all in the next video. Thanks for watching.